I would be tall. He lied.
I have some good news for Shopify and coming back in this series.
Okay, what do you got?
No Caitlyn available.
No Skarner
No
available?
Skarner available. So we've removed the 100% win rate champion.
All their champions they hadn't lost on 100% win rate across the board. Those are stats.
And now they haven't lost on the 2 champions they pulled out for the first time as well.
There you go.
100% win rate
There
on
you
Casio. Here is where we're probably going to see the Ashe Seraphine locked in. Yep. We are speeding through this draft.
Pantheon for Ashe Seraphine, I think it's like kind of pretty standard.
Yeah.
I tend to be on the side of Ashe Seraphine is better because Pantheon is a strong ganking jungler. The idea is they push up, they get attacked. The problem is Hawkshot just kind of cheats. And so if you know where the Pantheon is, it's easy to sit back when he could be on your side of the map. So that is kind of the problem for Contractz is he has got to find picks and take out this bot lane, but they get to cheat.
Yeah. Cheating is fun if you're Ashe. I don't know. You can
you're
help
the
out your own
cheater.
jungler. I will say, I do like the Pantheon for Contractz specifically. I think it's something he has done super, super well on. We already talked about in a loss, he still had like an insane Pantheon game. It allows him to attack side lanes. It allows him to participate in a lot of these early skirmishes in a way that the Mundo definitely didn't. We have the Naafiri coming out, this time for HamBak.
That is the polar opposite of the champions that they were playing last game, the Mundo and the Skarner. It's also interesting because last time I was casting, last week when we had a Nami Corki as the answer into Ashe Seraphine, which is super standard in pro, I was talking about the win rates. It's almost a 79, like 80% win rate for the Ashe Seraphine.
You were the person I was about to pose the question. I was like, I think I was talking to you about this last week, and you were like, yeah, it's the answer, but it's a bad answer.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like this is the answer you are picking has a 20% win rate, and people are doing it in pro all the time. Last week we did actually see it win, but it has just not been an inspiring answer for me whatsoever.
Yeah, I feel like teams have constantly, since this became all the rage, been trying to find an answer for that Ashe Seraphine, and previously Corki Nami or Yunara Lulu were kind of like the handshakes that people would go for. I do like a good like MF Nautilus. I've also seen people trying to pull out Senna a little bit more recently. Not necessarily winning with it, unfortunately, but yeah, it's kind of a race to see like, okay, what does actually counter this Ashe Seraphine? Because especially in tandem with the Naafiri, they both provide so much, especially with the Seraphine, for Naafiri to be able to dive these turrets over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. I will give the caveat that the game last week that I cast, where I was bringing up those stats, was Bvoy Seos, and then Bvoy dropped the nuke and had 15 kills and they won the game. So, you know, hey, he just won in this matchup last week against FlyQuest. Even with them actually losing the lane early, he was able to come back. Taliyah has gained a lot of popularity with the changes. Was kind of nerfed through the loss of Phase Rush, but then gained 5 damage per hit on the Q at rank 1, which really upped the wave clear, and Deathfire Touch works quite well on her as well.
Yeah, I actually love this Taliyah lock-in because it also pairs super, super well with the Pantheon, right? This was the duo of destruction that we kind of watched in previous splits do really, really well. It gives you so much side lane control. And I like it for the type of jungler that Contractz is when he's trying to make plays. This is going to be a test of how much him and Zinie's jungle mid synergy is kind of improved.
So Shopify, what I'm looking at right here is I need to see picks, and if they're gonna play for objectives, they need to be there first because their engage is dog schlop. That is not what you want to have for a team fight. They don't have a button that says...
Can you repeat that? What is it again?
Dog schlop?
Dog
Not
schlop.
just slop. Not just slop. Schlop.
Dog schlop. It's an evolution. It's like a Charmander into a Charmeleon, all right? It's dog schlop.
But it's evolving in the bad way.
Wait, yeah, slop
It's like when food
schlop.
is growing mold and it starts to become alive, you know?
Into what? What's the ultimate evolution?
We're not high enough level to evolve that one
All
yet.
right,
We'll have to see.
it's not that bad.
If we go to game 3,
the trainers are not powerful enough to control it.
This is game number 2, so we're on evolution 2. If we go to game number 3, then we'll be high enough level to discover.
And then if we need a remake, we're in the like mega evolutions or whatever.
Yeah, then we get into that modern day stuff.
Yeah.
Do not bring that curse onto us.
Well, right now we're hoping that Shopify Rebellion can find their way to a game number 3. Because remember,
wait a second.
This is such a what?
Why does Zinie have Storm Raider's Surge? Is that an accident, do you think? I mean, like, maybe he can proc it? That just seems like that would be so hard for Taliyah to proc.
I mean, the
maybe
last
it is some
time,
interesting tech. I don't know.
the last time I saw a Storm Raider Surge on Champion, I didn't think it worked necessarily well on. I think it was AP's Galio?
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Well,
all right. Well, looks like it must be intended because we don't have any pauses or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's some tech. There are a lot of slows on the other team. It's Ashe, Seraphine. It's slow from the Ornn Q, etc. But I just think it's going to be hard to proc. I'm interested to see how this does work out for him, and it does nothing for you in the 1v1.
Ooh, hold on. We've got a level 1 invade as Contractz just immediately goes straight for HamBak, starting at his red. That's 2 point-blank range Comet Spears, finding HamBak. The red buff's going to go ahead and reset, and HamBak is just going to change his plan here, go after his own Krugs as the first camp, while Contractz steals away his chickens. I like this from Shopify.
Yeah,
I feel like when Contractz is at his best, he is invading the enemy jungle, he's trying to download the guy, he's trying to predict where he is, and he's playing a very in-your-face style.
Yeah, I love this from Contractz, and he should be able to get onto this red buff as well. And HamBak is not going to be able to contest this, I don't think.
So most people are playing Storm Raider Surge in Pro, so it's interesting. Yeah, I'll be curious to see how it actually does work out for him.
All right, well, right now, all eyes still focused on this topside jungle. HamBak still trying to get his red buff back from Contractz. Zinie's going to be first on the rotation, though. Steps forward here with a threaded volley. Does find a little bit of damage, knocks down the puppy dogs, but Contractz is the one who steals away the red. Mission accomplished. Yeah,
down to 13 HP on that smite there, but was able to finish it off. And yeah, it's nice to see an aggressive level 1 here from Contractz. Can be quite effective, obviously, getting in there and being able to challenge on these level 1 jungle invades. We've been seeing so much more of that in this season.
And I like it. I mean, I think it took a little bit of time for people to get used to how early minions spawn now in the game, right? But saw a lot of LPL teams kind of early on in Split 1 trying some weird level 1s, and then and now we see. I mean, I agree with exactly what Clayton had said, where Contractz is at his best when he's doing these kind of early, unique invades to try to set the opposing jungler behind.
And as Contractz succeeded in the early game and everything else is rather quiet, we do have a little bit of a look behind the scenes. Before the game, Bvoy and Seos had a fun back and forth.
Referee, can I get Red Bull? Everything for you, my friend. Yeah, sugar, please. Thank you. Sugar! Yes! Should be a singer when you're retired.
Be a singer when you retire. Some people aren't that specific on whether or not you have a sugary drink or a sugar-free drink. It seems like Bvoy is very much on one side of the aisle here.
Yeah.
Sugar, the sugar side of the aisle.
He's got to keep his energy up. He's got to be ready. Got to lock in. Bring this one to a game number 3 here against Sentinels, against this team where both of them just feel like, dude, everything matters so much in these last couple of weeks for the teams that aren't already locked into playoffs. Like, depending on how things go, just last game we talked about, if you're a Sentinels fan, whether or not they win or lose this determines whether you're vehemently cheering for or against Disguised in the next game, just because there's so many of these teams that are neck and neck in the standings. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be incredibly important here. Sentinels obviously, taking that first series. If they do win and DSG wins, then they would be locking playoffs, which would be pretty huge for them. Because the expectations are that they are a really good team in the league. And even if the regular season does not go your way, they're not going to be some guaranteed free win in the playoffs. All the other pros are definitely looking at them as a strong team.
That's a nice, shiny glint on your head there, my
Yeah.
friend.
Hey, that is diabolical.
Did you polish that thing before the series today?
The
Put a little wax on
graphics
it?
people asked
They
me
did
for
you
some
dirty.
photos. They're giving the reflections on the chrome dome there.
That's a makeup team did a good job there. You're looking spiffy and shiny, my friend. But it is true though.
I don't know if that was a makeup team or the cleaning crew. They polished that thing.
Yeah, they did a great job there. They put the Windex on it. But that's it is a good point though that
Yeah.
you would think based on how other pros talk about the teams, on how we all predicted with power rankings, for these two teams to be in very different places in the standings, they're both at 1 and 4. They both have the same threat of potentially not making playoffs, and they both have to be locked in for this series.
Yeah, and this match essentially does decide, like not mathematically, but it does decide whether they go to playoffs in a pretty big way. So here they're like playoff odds entering today, and it's going to swap. If Sentinels win, they then have an 87.5% chance to lock playoffs. If Shopify win, they just lock playoffs.
They just, yeah, that's crazy. If Shopify can turn this around and win this game and the next one, it's just, hey man, you're in. That's it.
That's huge.
And yeah, that's especially huge considering, think back to Split 1, like going into the lock-in tournament, Shopify was the first team eliminated. This is a squad that really wants to show that they're more than what they've demonstrated so far this year. And being able to just instantly lock playoffs right there would have to be a huge relief.
Yeah, and I know I saw an interview, I believe it was from Contractz, talking about how this week was their first like positive win rate in scrims, right? So they are seeing the improvements they feel in scrims, and they're just hoping that they can bring that to stage and show that, hey, we are getting better.
I will say I love how Contractz just keeps revisiting HamBak's Raptors up here. But on the other side, I mean, HamBak was able to kind of come down, get these Krugs, play around some of the pushes they've had with this Ashe Seraphine bot.
Uh-oh. Ooh, yeah, Seos is probably just dead. Immediately, HamBak jumps in with a Hound's Pursuit. Call of the Pack drops the turret aggro as soon as he's done with the dive. It's easy peasy. That man is kibbles and bits.
Schlopped him.
Yeah, schlop. That's some grade A schlop
Turn
right
him
there.
to schlop.
Dogs love eating schlop.
Dogs do. If there's one thing that would eat schlop, it's
True.
only a dog.
My dog will literally eat anything.
Our dog tries to eat the trash.
My dog is very
the garbage.
curious
You're
about
not
the-
picky,
yeah. No.
You can respect that.
It's an adventurous spirit.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not your dog is not pretentious,
No,
He's not a hoity-toity dog.
No,
He is anything but.
He's a common man.
He doesn't
Or
have a
woman.
subscription to the local country
he's
club,
a
but he knows
dog-
where the dumpster
Yeah,
is.
he's
God
a
bless
dog
him.
of the people.
Yeah.
In this game, though, I did want to point out that is not great for Shopify, right? Because
That is not great for Shopify.
I'm underselling
the
it a
dog
bit.
is eating out of your dumpster. This is not
But-
great.
The impetus to make plays is on Shopify with this composition. They are the ones that need to be making early to mid-game plays to set themselves ahead because the comp on the right scales remarkably well and is very easy, in my opinion, to pilot. So it is kind of on Shopify, and you could see that. You can see Contractz thinking it through, right? With all of these revisits he's had to Raptors with the initial invade as well.
All right, HamBak is taking down these grubs here at the start. Contractz does show up. HamBak has secured a single grubby. Contractz smites down the second one and forces HamBak away. And it looks like it's a dog-eat-dog world. Contractz is the one with the menu. He'll secure 2 out of 3 grubs.
Not sure
How
that one
far-
works, but I like where your head
How
was
far
at.
can we take the dog puns and metaphors? I want to see.
Come on, I had to do it.
Yeah.
We were on the dog.
I mean, look, we have Naafiri. We're talking about schlop and eating from the dumpster.
I will say that was a little bit of a rough one.
I like that. I like that. I don't know if Seos likes this, though, as he's forced to flash away, but the flash follow from Rahel is right there. And now that's Sentinels in the 2v2. No help required this time. They find a second kill.
Yeah, dying once, as Emily said, not good for the team. Dying twice, really not good for
Also
the
not
team.
good for the team.
Also not good for the team.
And it
Surprisingly, also not good for the team.
yeah, and HamBak had already kind of started this Drake, right? Because, again, of this bot side pressure that this Ashe Seraphine has able to set up. So that's first Drake for them. That is a little bit more pressure on this bottom side of the map. And once again, Rahel off to a really nice start in his lane.
Rahel feeling great down here. And Ashe Seraphine, man, it's just so strong. Going back again to what we were talking about in draft, Isaac, where you looked at the, Corki Nami's the answer, and the answer works 20% of the time. Like, if you go into a test when you're in school and you're like, yeah, man, I know this one, I got all the answers, and you get the thing back graded and you got a 20, you didn't actually know very much.
I mean, it is really crazy. I mean, obviously, it's only a number of games and it's pro, it's not solo queue. But I remember hearing stats, and it was something like, if you are down a player, like if you are in a 4v5, you still have nearly a 20% chance to win the game in solo queue. It was something like that. So it's almost like someone didn't connect, and you have about the same odds as when you're playing Corki Nami versus
So you might as well
Ashe
just play Corki into it. Just leave Nami.
Yeah.
Just tell that guy
Nami can just stay home.
Tell him to go like eat lunch or clean the house or something. Like, it's fine. Take a break. We got the same chance.
Take
to
a
win.
load off. We got this loss
feet up.
handled.
It's fine.
Relax. Read a book. You know, get some fresh air. Touch some grass.
We'll see. I mean, it's definitely got to be a little bit of an annoying one for Bvoy, because they were actually winning the 2v2. He's up a little bit of farm. You know, and then Seos gets picked off once, kind of on a greedy play where he was trying to hold the wave. And then the second one, obviously, is the Ashe Seraphine combo, where you get hit by one, you get hit by the next, you're just perma-CC'd and taken out.
Yep, over here in the mid lane, Arcane Storm going to be summoned up there by Darkwings just for the ability to control the wave, get this shoved out as Seos shows up. Doesn't want to end up losing control over mid here. Sentinel's still up about 1,000 gold right now. They got one of the only 3 grubs. Voltaic Cyclo Sword completed for HamBak. This item is a hot topic in the community right now because it is so strong. It terrorizes solo queue, and now HamBak is looking to terrorize this game with it too.
Well, and it's kind of the reason that a lot of assassins, a lot of these champions that can build it are getting nerfed, right? You know, it's kind of this argument of like, hey, this item is so strong that you're causing everyone to be nerfed, and it's kind of forcing you to build it. Like now it's like if your champion is getting nerfed based on this item, you have to build this item or you're...
Because if I don't, I'm just weak now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these new runes, it is interesting. Obviously, Stormbreaker Surge, as I said, you know, is the more common one in pro play. Most of the games I had been seeing, people had been going more with Deathfire Touch or kind of experimenting with some other stuff. But Viktor on the other side is playing Deathfire Touch, Scorch, and Cutdown. And between the 3, has about 1,500 damage for laning phase.
Ooh, nice arrow there. Finds its mark onto Fudge, and with HamBak immediately ready to chase, Fudge tries to flash away. But HamBak saves the Hound's pursuit all the way to the end. Fudge almost got away, but it's huhi dropping that final little bit of damage to find the kill. Contractz arrives into the bottom lane, goes for the flash, tries to get the return kill onto Rahel, and does find it. So Shopify hit back.
Yeah, really nice follow-up from Contractz there with the Pantheon ult. I was kind of waiting for him to use it in the side lane because you could see he was looking for plays mid, couldn't find anything several times. He was trying to visit to try to make a play onto Darkwing's Viktor. Is able to follow up here, and you know, Fudge going down is a little unfortunate, but because he was able to trade that kill back, it's super important. He is kind of the bright spot in this Shopify early game, right? The matchup into the Ornn has allowed him to have almost now a 1K gold lead, just ticking over.
Oh, I think that actually missed. The ulti first pick did actually miss there, and then the heal coming through on a Bvoy means he will just go back to base, but will keep his life.
Darkwings trying to aggressively use these Arcane Storms to control whichever lane he finds himself in, as Zinie rotates down to the bottom lane to deal with him. And honestly, I feel like whenever you're playing against Taliyah, if you're the mid laner and you bring the matchup down to bottom instead of laning mid, you feel good about it because Taliyah has less reach over the entire map now.
Can't go left and right. You can only go left.
Yeah, that's the problem. You need to be able to turn both ways. Can't steer the car right.
It's like a Zoolander lane down there, you know?
But why male model?
That was a good movie. Classic.
But why male model?
Don't get me going on this, because I can talk about the gas station fight. I can talk about the files being in the computer. We can talk about this all day.
I feel like we make a files in the computer joke like every week. behind the scenes on the
That's
LCS.
how I feel when I have to ask people here at Riot for help with my home computer when it doesn't work. And they're just like, well, what's wrong with it? The files are in your computer. Yeah, it's tough. Whenever we have international events and I've got to get stuff together for going to other countries, it's a rough one. Right now, though, it looks like Shopify are having a very pleasant time controlling this bottom side river, wanting to set up for Dragon number 2. Remember that Sentinels took the first one. They still have just shy of a 1,000 gold lead. Valk buffer there from Bvoy to get away from the follow-up damage of the arrow, despite the fact that Rahel hit him with it because he buffered through it with the Valkyrie. He still got enough distance, so he could just pop the cleanse and still stay relatively healthy. However, that does mean that Shopify concedes the space in this bottom side river, and that's Sentinels going for Dragon number 2.
Yeah, that opens up a lot of room for them to basically just take this Drake, where Shopify had first rotation on it, right? And I thought they were doing a pretty good job of holding that space. Now they're going to move into the top side to try to get this Herald.
Yeah, it's looking like maybe contest here. HamBak and huhi trying to clear out some of this vision. Impact is coming down as well, but I mean, Rahel is starting to base, so surely we don't fully test it?
It looks like, if nothing else, they're trying to at least just stop them from taking it, allow it to reset. HamBak went in, did smite down the Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, I mean, they just didn't have vision on Rahel, so they didn't know that Rahel had based. Otherwise, they could have actually taken that fight. But Rahel bases, they push them back, they get the Scuttle. Nicely done.
Yeah, and they are.
Whoa, Bvoy forced to flash away there as HamBak dives in with a Hound's Pursuit, putting pressure onto the enemy AD carry.
And another thing that little soft contest accomplished is that Viktor was able to get a lot of damage on that bot side turret as well, and force Fudge to kind of respond to that bot side push. So really nice little bluff from Sentinels playing around the fact that Shopify couldn't see that Rahel had backed.
Yeah, very, very effective stuff from them. Rahel, pretty close in goal to where Bvoy is, so neither AD carry has a big advantage. DARKWINGS, though, has created a pretty nice lead for himself. And, huhi is actually up quite a bit of gold. And with enchanters, it is relevant, especially an enchanter like Seraphine that scales really, really well. Already has the Echoes of Taliyah, already has CDR boots, the tier is almost fully stacked. And enchanters, especially champions like Seraphine that scale so well, at 2+ items become such a problem because there's so much sustain, so much CC that can actually come out from this champ.
Back here in the top side, summons up the Ornn, finds the point-blank knock up there onto Zinie, who does go ahead and use that knockback to try to make a little bit of space, but when DARKWINGS arrives, Zinie dies. Impact's the one who takes the kill.
Yeah, nice coordinated play from DARKWINGS and Impact there, using his TP to kill off Zinie in the side lanes. And it's kind of interesting, even though Fudge is going to be able to get a bunch of damage down on this turret, and he continues to be kind of the bright spot. We'll see if Shopify are going to respond, but HamBak is on to Seos as well.
Contractz finds a nice chunk of damage there on the DARKWINGS, who immediately retaliates with about the same amount of force. HamBak moving towards this top side. The wave is about to crash into the turret, and that's a defensive ulti from Contractz to escape. If he doesn't drop that, he's dead.
Exactly. I think it's absolutely the right choice. When you have no Aegis Assault, there's no way you're going to actually be able to survive, even the Hound's Pursuit coming in. So a good bit of pressure put there onto Contractz. And it is going to mean the Herald is started up. They're TPing back, though. Zinie's here, as is Fudge.
Yeah, so Zinie's made his way onto DARKWINGS here in the top side. Fudge with the wraparound means that DARKWINGS has nowhere to go. I'm not going to lie, I hate the flash.
There was no way you're getting out.
Yeah, maybe it's a flash to try to get the turret.
But he didn't even try to auto-attack the turret. He was trying to run away.
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because I feel like the flash was just bad. Bvoy now getting jumped on. Impact goes in, finds the knock-up. HamBak's got to get away from the tier 1. It's Contractz now, caught by the beat drop. Has to try to get away as the Ashe arrow finds one target. Another Ornn sounds through. Contractz staying alive, though. Shopify lucky to get Contractz and Bvoy both out of there.
And look at Fudge on the top side. You see they're going to kind of try TP Impact up there to contest that. But again, like that initial soft contest from Herald, like way back, is what allowed Sentinels to kind of come in and get the Herald here as well. So even though they do lose DARKWINGS, being able to immediately pop that, clear up the mid turret is really nice from them. Even with everything they hit, though, I was kind of surprised at how difficult it was to get onto Bvoy, right? And Contractz blocking so much damage with that Aegis Assault was also a huge part of that.
Yeah, and Fudge has just been perma side laning, right? He got the first hour on bot side, got basically all the plates there. During that play, he took down the tier 1 top, got even at least 1 plate off of the tier 2, 2 plates even. So he is up 2K. They are still down gold as a team, and that generally means it is on the Jayce to get something done. You have got to be able to find these plays, but if you don't know where Naafiri is, it is really scary, because ahead gold or not, Impact can set up for these ganks very, very easily. And Impact is still going to be able to fulfill his role on the Ornn. Whether he is down 2K or up 2K, you can still press R, and you can still be very effective in the team fights.
I mean, he has Jack Show, right? He's got Unending Despair. It's already Ornn item upgraded. Now Fudge gets caught here by the arrow. We said the pressure is on Fudge to make things happen, and he's the target immediately here from Sentinels. 3 seconds left until the Drake spawns, and the Fed player is now chunked out of the conflict. As Impact steps forward, forcing the rest of Shopify Rebellion away, but Sentinels also takes a little bit of damage in return. Zinie trying to create a point of pressure here on the pincer angle. The rest of Shopify going to group up behind him. Sentinels already has 2 Drake, Shopify none. It'll be sole point if Sentinels gets this. Nice flick onto DARKWINGS, but not a whole lot of damage. Ready to follow up the seismic shove. Shopify still looking for an angle. There comes your Weaver's Wall, but the only person who gets isolated is Impact, who immediately breaks the wall open. There's not even really any threat on it. HamBak's waiting over the wall here into the Dragon Pit, looking to secure the Drake. Nice seismic shove again there on the DARKWINGS. They found the kill into him. Now Contract's going to die in retaliation. Fudge your next target. That's the Fed Jayce. HamBak very low, is taken out, but again, traded back for Fudge. 2 for 2 so far. Sentinel's still looking, but Rahel is entirely out of mana. Huhi firing back a little bit. Bvoy has already vouched forward. Impact's got to be careful here. Does charge away, keeps himself safe. He's alive for now. Okay, 2 for 2, and Sentinels gets the Fed player, and they get the Dragon, and Impact steps away from the seismic shove.
And Impact actually able to get a lot of gold there. He got 2 kills off the back of that, and the fact that they got the Dragon, they're going to be really, really happy about how that went down. At the end of the day, you know, this is the punish for wasting your flash top lanes for Darkwing, because he does actually get caught here. As he walks forward, he is hit by the tidal wave, and the follow-up of that seismic shove, the hop forward from Contractz, but then HamBak gets into the backline, putting pressure down. Couldn't quite finish off Fudge, took them a little bit longer to do it, and then you just end up in this 3v3 situation, but Sentinels have already claimed the Dragon, so going to be really happy about that. They are now very close to getting an Ocean Soul, and an Ocean Soul for an Ornn who now has 3 kills. That is going to be big, and the ornaments are even coming through. He's level 15, so he's going to have 2 Ornn upgrades ready. He already used 1 on the Cyclo Sword. He has another ready to go.
Yeah, and not only that, but on top of having Seraphine here, also the Naafiri being able to get into the backline and then back out. So yeah, it really, really puts so much pressure on Shopify, who again were supposed to have this kind of early to mid game comp to kind of control the side lanes. And even though Fudge has been doing a good job there, they haven't really been able to make as many plays as I think they would have wanted, despite his lead.
All right, Shopify. It's still a close enough game that everything is contestable. Things haven't been going their way so far. Nice seismic shove, catch into HamBak. The flash again for nothing. Sentinel's jungler dies, spends the flash, and Shopify are taking this as the green light to start up the Baron.
Yeah, they're going to start it up. Impact is in the area. They need to wait for Darkwings, though. He is very far away still.
Yeah, Impact charges forward. Bvoy's going to get caught. Chain CC down onto the Corki, but Rahel's not DPSing. Bvoy flashes away, stays alive for now, but that should be more than enough to stop this Baron attempt.
Honestly, well done from Sentinels. That was a 3v5 that they actually contested with. Darkwings wasn't a part of that at all, and they get the flash off of Bvoy. They push them back, and they're considering, do we want to try to stay around in the area with our jungler coming back up?
Okay, Zinie, however, throws out the Weaver's Wall. Impact is the one caught. Nice moves from Shopify. Picking up another one for free, or is it? Nope, Contractz staying alive. Accelerated Shock Blast misses. Sentinels still trying to contest now. It's still a 4v5 because now the Naafiri is back out on the map. HamBak has respawned. Zinie getting chased down here by DARKWINGS and huhi. Not quite enough damage to kill him here just yet. Does throw down that gravity field. And Zinie forced to flash.
They could start Baron if they wanted. It would be a little bit risky, but I mean, you just got the flash off of Zinie. He has no TP, he has no Weaver's Wall. There were some all-in pings onto Baron from Sentinels, But clearly the team not fully aligned on that because it was only HamBak going over to the pit.
Yeah.
He obviously thought they had an angle to start it. Other people didn't agree, so they do not decide to risk it.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense. They should just be able, I mean, HamBak will pick up this Scuttle Crab. There, I think you did finally see, as the TP comes in from Impact on the spot side, the Taliyah Pantheon combo working in tandem as well to burn down HamBak really quickly. And then credit to Sentinels for that contest to stop Shopify from taking the Baron.
I mean, it was just a really nice pick onto HamBak. You know, he used Call of the Pack after getting hit by that shock blast, and as soon as that was used, Contractz is like, well, you're dead. Like, I flash stun you, Seismic Shove is there, you don't have the ability to get out after, and as Flowers had called out, insult to injury, you use the flash in a play where you're going to die regardless, and that is definitely a cost. So Shopify still in with a chance. They're up a couple hundred gold here, but that is lying to you a bit because there's 3 Dragons of stats on the other side plus a lot of ornaments. Which is going to make Sentinels, I think, more powerful at this point of the game. And if you lose one more Dragon, that is Ocean Soul, and that is going to be so problematic.
But I do like seeing Shopify play aggressively like this. Yes, it's a very minor lead, but they do have a lead, and they're the ones who are taking first control over the bot side river. They want to contest for this Ocean Soul. Bvoy evading the attempted engage coming out there from Sentinels. Staying alive here, staying healthy on the Corki. Very, very important. HamBak Call the Pack doesn't get a whole lot of value out of that one. Meanwhile, the Seraphine goes in after Bvoy, who tries to cleanse and get away from it, but he's already killed off by DARKWINGS. Big engage coming out from Sentinels. Contractz is the second target, and it's 2 for free. This is what I'm talking about. This is why you need engage. Sentinels sees the angle, and they take it. Zinie trying to get away here with the teleport. Impact wanted to get the point-blank headbutt to knock him up and interrupt that, but it's not going to work. Fudge thinking about maybe trying to snipe a dragon, but it will not work out. Sentinels take 2 kills, and the Ocean Soul 26 minutes in.
And this is where you really see how many options Sentinels have, right, with this composition. So even though the Ashe arrow doesn't hit initially, guess what? HamBak is going to go in on the Naafiri. The charm hits onto Bvoy with the follow-up from Ornn. And as soon as Bvoy goes down, they're right on to Contractz. And this is also Impact's frontlining is so good, and why we were kind of like, okay, he hasn't played these champions like the Ornn, like the Cassante to make room for your team. You saw it right there in how he was able to combo with the Seraphine and also immediately then turn on to Contractz.
I just love the aggression there from Sentinels because Bvoy was positioning very cocky. There's Mikhail's and he had cleanse, but he didn't have flash, right? So yes, he can cleanse something. The Ashe arrow missed, and they're still saying, you're too far forward without flash. It doesn't actually matter if you have cleanse. The ult flash from huhi forces the cleanse, but the Ornn ult is perfectly layered, so he's instantly knocked back up. And DARKWINGS over the wall is hitting him, you know, flashing away from the Jayce to get more damage down. Impact instantly flashed in to follow up to know, hey, he can't create space. He's already used the Valk, and we can kill him from this spot. And that was just a great play, getting them the Ocean Soul. And doesn't matter how ahead Fudge is at this point, you are not killing that Ocean Soul Ornn anytime soon.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you can completely mag dump the guy, do 66% of his health in a full, like, both forms trade, and by the time the next wave gets here, guess what?
Full health.
He's full HP. Like, have fun. This is not going to be an enjoyable experience. You mentioned the ornaments earlier, Isaac. The Voltaic Cyclo Sword that was already upgraded. Now you've got the Kraken Slayer upgraded on Rahel. Impact, I believe with level 16, he's got more that he could also hand out the next time.
He could upgrade everyone.
Yeah, everybody should be fully upgraded. I was like, I don't play Ornn myself, so I'm pretty sure.
It's 13 you get ornament, and then 14, 15, 16, so he should have another one available.
Okay. huhi bursted low, but he ain't taken down just yet. Bvoy and Contractz trying to get away. Shutdown credit goes over to Fudge as huhi dies. HamBak now in danger. Down to half HP here himself. 1-0 favoring Shopify Rebellion as the gold stays dead even between these teams. But even though Shopify win the fight, they get the 1 pick, they're hurt enough in response, they can't take anything else off the map.
Yeah, not going to be able to get anything else. They do lose some summoners. They do get Rahel's flash and cleanse, which is big, but they lost Zinie's flash, they lost Contract's flash, they lost the heal off of Seos. But, you know, maybe you can be able to pick off Rahel without any of those summoners, and that could be pretty big. Rahel flashed a Shock Blast that just deleted huhi, and was huhi's first death of the game here. But the Seraphine, you know, now has the Mikhails available. There's really not a lot of CC. It's basically you're Mikhailsing really, I guess, just the Pantheon stun. That's
Aqua Prison, maybe?
Aqua Prison, but then it's a knockup, right? So it wouldn't even get you.
But it makes it so you can flash.
You can flash, yeah.
So it's a half.
Yeah.
So
if you have flash available, then it's worth doing the knockups.
Yeah, it's 1.5 things you could possibly cleanse. Meanwhile, Contractz now under pressure here as HamBak and Impact go for the invade. The rest of Sentinels trying to distract Shopify so they can't save their jungler, and Impact grabs the kill. That's Contractz down. That's the Shopify jungle. Baron is up on the map. There's nothing to contest on the other side for another 2.5 minutes. Shopify, what is your answer?
Yeah, they're just going to barrel down mid. And I mean, I think it is the right call, right? I'm not sure that they would be able to contest this Drake. Just try to get whatever you can off the map. Because otherwise, you're probably just going to get wiped.
Yeah, I mean, there's Call of the Forge God and Encore. You know, there's flashback available for the Seraphine. If you go over there, you probably are just going to get turned on and killed, and it's such a low percentage play. So instead, they take out the tier 1 mid, they take down the tier 2 bot, so they're just trying to get some gold for themselves. And usually when you fall into this kind of a game where you've lost Soul, you've lost Baron, you're saying, all right, let's stall, let's pray we can steal Elder, and if you can get Elder, the game can be equalized.
Yeah.
That is the Hail Mary. That's usually your best chance from a spot like this, and Impact now is 17 and has used his final 2 upgrades there, so upgraded the Leandries as well as the Mikhails, so had those ready to go. There's 5 ornaments. It is just a 700 gold lead, but of course a massive amount of gold worth of stats from the 4 dragons and the Soul, as well as the 5 ornaments that have now been upgraded. So really, stats-wise, you're thinking that they're like near 10K ahead.
Yeah, this is some scary stuff. 90 seconds until that Elder. 2 minutes left on the Baron. It's hard to imagine a world where Sentinels don't have control over the Dragon Pit once that big objective spawns. DARKWINGS pushing up towards the tier 2 here in the bottom lane, but it's Impact getting jumped on. Flashes away from Shopify, who want to continue committing towards the Ornn. Tidal Wave misses. Impact trying to slow everybody down. Summons up the Call of the Forge God, looking to use the Bellows Breath, keeping himself alive. Misses the return hit on his own ulti. But the rest of Sentinels has arrived. Bvoy under pressure. HamBak taking the kill while Impact continues fighting back. It's a disaster for Shopify Rebellion, and Sentinels is taking everybody off the rift. A double kill over to HamBak. It's 4 dead, only Contractz alive, and Sentinels is looking to end this series.
Now you see how difficult it is to kill that Ornn. They weren't even able to take Impact out in that fight.
Sentinels on the victory march. 30 minutes into the game, it was coming down to an Elder fight, but Shopify end up blundering. It's Sentinels that punish. It's Sentinels that sweep Shopify 2-0 here, and it's Sentinels who are keeping those playoff dreams alive.
Keeping those playoff dreams alive, and now big fans of DSG.
Yes.
Because if DSG wins, they are going to lock playoffs off of that. A pretty dominant victory here. Impact back on tanks.
Yeah.
Sentinels wins the series. Lounge, what do you think?
Tanks were hibernating.
Yeah,
you knew when. So we said it's a must-win game.
Yeah.
And then in game 1, he lost Cassante, doesn't seem to do much, but you knew he meant business. So game 2, when he locks Ornn, he's back in prime form.
It's
He's
Impact
playing
time.
the greatest hits. And the way Sentinels played, too, all these games, Impact on tanks, let's group for Drake, let's scale, let's not take too many risks. And what do you have? Sentinels with a 87.5% of remaining scenarios to make playoffs, Kobe.
And that's kind of what we said at the beginning of the day, what we were looking for out of this matchup. Raz did predict one game of Shopify favor, but
Incorrectly.
Incorrectly.
But they